Hey, clones, get ready. This is the Eye of the Hawk.
That's production value. All right, JT,
Wow.
You're right. It's the summer, but it's not slow at all. There's a lot going on that you and I were trading texts about.
Yes.
I want to get your take on all of this stuff, but, they probably don't carry an entire segment, so I'm just going to tee you up for some stuff. Let's start in your backyard, Las Vegas. LeBron James was at his son's AAU game yesterday, and he jumped in the layup line. The video went viral. He was throwing down dunks. And then at some points during the game, he would come out of his courtside seat and start beating his chest when his son, Bronny Jr., would make a good play. A lot of people had a crazy reaction to this, saying that he's taking all of the attention off of his kid and off of other people's kids and putting it on him. I think it's pretty cool that LeBron James shows up to his kids' games and is that into it. And if I was a parent at an AAU game, I would be stoked that LeBron was at it. Where do you come out on LeBron jumping in the layup line and throwing down dunks and then pounding his chest when his son makes a good play?
Well, great question. First off, this happens at the high school that my son go to in Vegas. So my sons and their friends were around that and were able to see that. So I think it's great for LeBron, who didn't have really the structure of a dad growing up as a kid. And for LeBron, who has a short offseason traditionally, to be there traveling with Bronny's AAU team, to jump off the bench, to do layups and dunks, and then really pound his chest when his son makes a great play. I think LeBron is doing what all dads want to do. Live through the life of their kids, who's having tremendous success. And I think it's a good thing for him because LeBron didn't have that growing up, Adam. He had nothing like that.
Yeah, I agree. And so without a father figure in his life, for him to be such a good father figure in his kid's life, I thought it was awesome to see. I don't know why people have a problem with it. It's an AAU game, and he was doing it before the game, not during the game.
Let me
so
tell
who
you
cares?
why. Because the AAU is corrupt. Vegas is the home of the corruption of AAU basketball. And these are where we talk about building these super teams. AAU basketball builds super teams, and they do it around these tournaments in Vegas. So that's the bright side of Vegas AAU. The negative side is when you see these college coaches, which I've seen, in the casinos in Vegas, wink, wink, trolling around looking for AAU young players and parents to cut deals with to come to their universities.
All right. You love golf. I love golf. We've played golf before. Yesterday, Brooks and Rory were in the final group at the St. Jude Classic. They were walking in Memphis. And Brooks went out and shot a 65, won the tournament going away. Rory did what Rory does, shoots a 71 in the final group. This is just becoming classic Rory. The Tiger comparisons need to go away at this point. What did you make of Brooks showing up, shooting a 65, Rory showing up, doing what he does in the final group and firing a 71?
It was one of the greatest head game golf days that we've seen, and unfortunately I don't think a lot of people watched it, coming off the Open Championship where Rory McIlroy choked and got an 8, playing on his home course the first day and shot himself out of winning another major. The big takeaway of this story is that Koepka told us a few weeks ago that he only plays golf when you see him on TV. They had cameras in the parking lot worried that he was going to show up late. He showed up 45 minutes before his tee time, boat raced Rory, and now if you look at Rory McIlroy coming off the failure at the Open, Tiger Woods hammered him at the Masters. He hasn't won a major in quite some time, and on top of that, Koepka is in the beginning of his prime. I'm not going to say Rory's never going to win again, but I think we both talked about this. Rory should have about 8 or 9 majors by now. He's been stuck on 4 for quite some time.
Right. Let's stay in golf. Sergio Garcia was also at that tournament yesterday. He hit a bad drive, then took his driver, took a chunk out of the tee box on purpose. This is 1 week after, at the Open, he threw a club at his caddy, hit his caddy in the face. He's already been kicked out of a tournament in Saudi Arabia where he damaged 5 different putting greens. That was earlier this year. And he's the same guy that famously spit in a cup. So he's been having this go on, these kind of temper tantrums go on for 2 decades now. What do we do about Sergio Garcia? Should the tour do anything? Do we have to keep watching this guy throw these temper tantrums on the golf course?
I got a great idea. I was at the U.S. Opens when he would take 3 minutes over his ball with the waggle, and the New York fans were booing him at Bethpage Black, and the jungle knows the history of Colin Montgomery and what it's like to troll him. I think that every listener of the jungle, every sports radio fan, should now get on Sergio again, because it was disgraceful what he did with that tee box. I've been known to use a breakfast ball. I say that to my buddies when I tee off. The first drive of the day, if it's not good, you get a breakfast ball. But that would be like telling me I had no breakfast ball and I just tore up the tee box. I think he's going to get a lot of heat from fans, deservingly so.
Speaking of getting heat, last night, A-Rod was in the booth, Sunday Night Baseball. Crazy that A-Rod is the voice of baseball on not only ESPN but Fox, and he's also the face of the steroid era, but now he's the voice of baseball. It wasn't even his birthday yesterday. It was a day late, but that didn't stop this moment from happening on ESPN last night.
Well, it's been a good one so far here in Boston. Series finale. Red Sox hoping to sweep the affair, and the Yankees hoping to salvage one. Oh, wow. Yes, that's right. It's birthday time.
You love cakes.
I'm just going to jump in. The clip is pathetic. It's pathetic on TV. It's pathetic on the radio. Alex Rodriguez, not even his birthday. Jennifer Lopez crashes the scene with A-Rod's two kids, hands him a birthday cake that's straight out of Ralph's. It just says happy birthday.
Oh, it was the worst cake ever.
Worst cake of all time. His name's not even on it. She's worth like $1 billion. She can't even bother to get a custom cake, which just makes it such a look at me moment. Like, hey, let me go crash the broadcast. It's not even his birthday. It begs the question that if his birthday was like 5 days ago, would she still have done it just to get on Sunday Night Baseball? So what do you make of Alex Rodriguez in the middle of a Red Sox-Yankees game getting a crappy birthday cake from his girlfriend that we cannot stop seeing him with at every single turn on Sunday Night Baseball last night?
It goes to the Mount Rushmore of the worst moments in broadcast history, dating back to the discovery of television and Marconi and the radio. Here's what happened. First off, A-Rod brought his two daughters in. They surprised him. Those are not J-Lo's daughters. Those are her, not even stepdaughters, because they're not even married yet. And J-Lo didn't look like she was performing in Vegas. It was the J-Lo mom look. It wasn't the hot J-Lo who's performing at the Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood. They came in there, and I'm a fan of Jessica Mendoza. I know the clones are going to go crazy. She gets trolled more than anybody on social media, and all she does is try to do a good job. She's really respected throughout the media, maybe not all fans. To put Jessica Mendoza in that spot as she's trying to gain credibility, and you bring in J-Lo with that garbage cake, and I think the hook to the story, Hawk, is they left the cake. No one had any, and they left it in the box, in the press box, for it just to melt away. For A-Rod, he's turned everything around, but that was a low moment last night.
Yeah, somehow getting photographed while taking a dump in his apartment was less embarrassing than what happened last night, and I have no idea how that's possible.
Yes.
I got two more quick ones for you.
Let's go.
This one, PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, is making hard coffee now. PBR is making hard coffee. It's available in 5 states. It will be coming to a state near you. It's mostly the East Coast right now. Would you try a Pabst Blue Ribbon hard coffee?
No, because I'd never try PBR. So I said early in my life when I was drinking beer at a young age that I would only drink good beer in life. And I'm not a beer snob, but I don't drink that watered down beer. I don't drink that garbage beer, so I would never mix my coffee with PBR, nor would I ever be caught dead with a PBR when I could buy and drink great beer like we both like. We've had a microbrew before, a pale ale. I love Stella. I love decent beer, but I would not put that. Yeah, I would not put that in my system. You don't have to worry about that.
Finally, JT, this one is it's all about me. I hate to make it about me, but I need some advice.
Yes.
So I like tennis. I played tennis in high school, a little bit in college. One of the hardest parts about tennis and one of the most frustrating parts about tennis is how hard it is to find somebody to play with. It's the easiest sport in terms of equipment and people you need. You need one other person, you need a racket, you need some balls. There are courts everywhere. It's not like basketball. You don't need to find 9 other guys. It's not baseball. You don't need 17 people. It's not flag football. You just need a guy, 2 rackets, someone who can keep up with you. I can't find anyone to play with. So it's been years since I've played, and I got the itch again, especially after watching Federer Djokovic. So I was scouring Craigslist looking for people to play with, just like hitting partners. Yeah, and then I stumbled upon a website, which is like Tinder for tennis. So essentially, this website will match you up with people near your skill level and near your neighborhood that will come play tennis with you. And I found a match, and I've got my first kind of Tinder for tennis date today with a guy I've never met, and we're going out to a tennis court here locally to play tennis. And I never used Tinder because I was married before I needed anything like that.
Wait a second. You're serious about all this?
I'm
this
dead
is
serious.
Tinder for tennis, and the match is tonight?
The match is tonight. It's at 5 o'clock. Now, here's the thing. I never used Tinder, but I feel kind of like someone who might use Tinder where I am nervous about this. I want it to go really well. I'm hoping there's a second date because it would be great to have this work out and to be able to find a long-term tennis partner. I feel just like somebody who is going out and meeting somebody for the first time. I want it to go well. I want there to be a second date. And on the flip side, this is where I want your advice. I'm nervous as hell. I mean, who knows if I'm going to be alive after tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet a stranger to play tennis.
Yeah, let me jump in. First off, right after this segment, not the end of the show, I'm calling your wife. I'm calling the FBI. I'm going to find out where to ping you tonight, and I'm going to be there. Because there's a chance that this tennis partner of yours is going to go to shake your hand and hit you with chloroform and knock you out and put you in a car and drive you to the beach. So I've never heard of Tinder for tennis. There's a level of creepiness involved in it. But if this is the only way, dude, for you to find a tennis partner, can we go out on social media? Are you looking for an A-list, B-list, C-list type of league player, or are you just looking for a random to go out there and hit balls with?
Anyone who plays tennis knows you're just looking for somebody that matches your skill level. If you play somebody way better than you, it sucks for them and sucks for you. If you play somebody worse for you, same thing. You want somebody who can rally with you at your skill level, which is why it's really hard to find somebody to play with. And now I've had to stoop to Tinder for tennis to find somebody.
So if you beat this guy tonight in the match, are you going to go out and buy him a Pinot? Are you going to split an appetizer? Are you going to go like on a tennis date afterwards? Or is it going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be careful exchanging your phone number with this guy?
If all goes well, I already left him my phone number. I probably shouldn't have. If all goes well, we meet up again for tennis later this week. And I'll let you know how that goes because you're here all week. I'm hopefully here all week, and I'll let you know if there's a second tennis date.
You're married, a father of two, and you're on a Tinder app for tennis.
I need that tennis.
This is not going to end well. That's Eye of the Hawk. If you want to bring back Eye of the Hawk on Wednesday or Thursday, we're only going to do it via social media. At JT The Brick, at Jim Rome. I thought it was pretty good. You really threw me for a loop with that tennis thing at the end there. Adam Hawk, executive producer. When we come back,